I hate when guys approach me. Why? Because I don't want to be bothered? Like, clearly, I'm doing something. Go away. Okay, so I guess you meet guys online then? Ew, no, what kind of creep stalks my IG and DMs me? Oh, okay, so you approach the guys then. What? Why would I ever date a guy who didn't have the confidence to approach me? But you just said you hate when guys approach you. Yeah, only when I'm clearly doing something. Plus, those guys are always super awkward anyway. How is a guy supposed to know when you're clearly doing something? And yeah, of course he's going to be a little bit awkward. He's starting a conversation out of thin air with a girl who may or may not be attracted to him and may or may not be busy. I mean, just approach me at a bar or a club. That's when I tend to meet guys. You mean when you're drunk and impulsive? Yeah. How do those relationships tend to go?
There are multiple videos of women saying attractive and charming men have approached them, and their response, as a single woman, was to say, "I have a boyfriend," and they sit in their car and lament over their stupid response.
The reason why men are no longer approaching women has nothing to do with him not being attracted to you. Trust me, he's attracted, and he's not even that worried about rejection. Because even though that hurts, he can move on from it pretty quickly. The real problem is when he forms a connection with a woman that seems to be interested. So what does he do? He's excited for the potential. He's pouring his effort in. He feels desired. He's spending a lot of time talking to her, and he's even starting to become vulnerable. But what happens after a few weeks of all the emotional effort, the months of dates, or even the years of commitment, is that she decides to end the connection. Oftentimes, out of nowhere, the man literally has no idea what made her change her mind. And whether it's because she felt like he wasn't even good enough to try with, or if it was because she found someone better, it all hurts the same. That man simply feels played. And this honestly happens from dating onto long-term relationships, including marriage. So
Women live for rejecting men. They reject 80% of men on dating apps. This, the rudeness of women, their entitlement to attention, and their attitudes, is the reason why guys don't approach them. You all can barely give a choosing signal to give a man a clear lane to approach.
In today's society, if a man goes up to a woman and asks her for her number or Snapchat, he's looked at as like a creep and a pervert. But if a woman goes up to a man, it's 100% okay, which is not okay to me.
How likely are men to have sex with a lonely woman out of pity?
I guess it depends on who you ask. I'd say pretty likely.
How likely are women to have sex with lonely men out of pity?
Oh, unlikely. They just want men that are rich and famous.
And what do women expect? That the good guys they've rejected throughout their lives are suddenly going to start approaching them now that they're financially doing well and seem like better prospects than Chad and Tyrone?
Say to all the fine men that I see out in public, sir, if I look at you more than once, if I double back, I give you that real like I'm bougie bad bitch kind of look back, I'm just looking around for my friend kind of look, that means I want you to approach me. That means I'm 30 seconds away from walking up to you. I do not want you to get in your car, turn up your music and like zoom off and try to be cool. No, I want you to eat my coochie from the back, okay? Okay, now come talk to me, please and thank you. I'm opening the front door. What don't you understand? I don't know why men don't understand this. Always men that you don't want to talk to you that are always fucking talking to you.
If you women are expecting guys to cold approach you, it's not going to happen. You all women do this because if you give a choosing signal and the guy doesn't want to reciprocate, you feel rejected. Also, newsflash ladies, if a guy doesn't want to approach it means sometimes that we don't consider you hot enough.
Okay, I just saw this really cute guy at the gym, and we made a few eye contacts, right? But he was definitely the more shy and timid type. So I knew there was no way he would come up to me first. And because mama didn't raise no bitch, I came up to him. I walked up to him and introduced myself. I was like, hi. Of course I asked him if he has a girlfriend, and he said no. And after about a 3-minute small talk, I said, okay, I gotta go. I'll see you around. Bye. Then I just left. And boy, he ran. He literally ran up to me and asked, sorry, could I maybe get your Instagram? Of course I played it cool. I was like, well, yeah, I guess, sure. Bro, I had no idea how weak I was at my fucking knees right there and then. Anyway.
This is the thing with modern women. They make gyms a place where men no longer feel safe to approach. And now she is calling him shy for not approaching her. Why would a man approach knowing there is a risk of being called names or having a video of himself on social media? But I have to recognize her courage for taking the lead.
It's not that guys are intimidated by women. They just don't want to experience harsh and rude rejections, be seen as an ATM, or be bashed on the media for some inflated egos. Truth is, you can only kick a dog so much before it either bites back or simply runs away from you.
here's where I call bullshit on feminists. You guys want to be treated equal? Okay, how about men go to you and say, you need to make 6 or 7 figures? That is fucking crazy and extremely unattainable for most women. Second of all, say you're a guy and you don't come from money and you fucking spend all your time, all the best years of your life. You're going to fucking school, you're hustling, you're finally making 6, 7 figures. I'm sorry, what are you gonna want to do? You're gonna like want to run around, have fun because you deserve it, get your fucking dick sucked by every hot girl in sight, which I am absolutely not throwing shade as a female. I completely understand that. And it's like, yeah, and then what? You're gonna go settle down with a 5? Fuck that. Even if you are gonna settle, that bitch is gonna be a solid 10. I don't even understand. I'm a woman and I understand this. I don't understand how others can't. It's like, come on, dude. He put in the work. He deserves it. You don't.
The absolute unmitigated arrogance of modern women to think that just because they see a guy who they think is cute, and so he should automatically want to meet them, is so pathetic and disgusting that it borders on comedy. And to make it even worse, they assume that they are so desirable that he should just want them just because they exist. There is zero consideration of whether he is thinking if she is even worth his time, or if he has even noticed them.
I don't know. I think guys are even afraid to look your way. So the question is this a problem? And if so, what do you do about it? Obviously, this is a problem because men are now terrified. Even in the workplace, by the way, they're terrified to have interactions with women because there's so much talk of sexual harassment has been, blown up to the point where you're guilty upon accusation of everything. So they're like, I don't even want to talk to you. I don't want to be like, no, every door needs to have like a window that you can see through. And I'm good. I've spoken to guys that actually have deep concerns about like just regular interactions. Like I'm afraid I'm going to say something or like, and these are not guys that are prone to inappropriate behavior, but they're just afraid that that window of inappropriate has expanded so much that if they even say something nice, it's like, oh my God, did I overstep my boundary? They're like walking on eggshells 24/7.
The worst part is that these delusional modern women accuse guys of backing out of dating because guys are intimidated by these so-called independent women. The only thing that I'm intimidated by is the court system, the state, and the government. Americans, this foolishness and ridiculousness of deeming it a form of attack and abuse to approach women. So I'm thinking about protecting myself.
I personally think that men are basically all the same. Men just want a nice, sweet, supportive woman. You don't even have to be that beautiful. Like, don't be fat, like go to the gym, eat healthy, put a little bit of makeup on, not too much. But ultimately, men just want a supportive, kind, sweet woman. He's gonna go out there, take on the world, do all these difficult things, and he just wants to go home and know that there's peace, there's food on the table, the house is clean. It's really not that difficult. All men want the same thing.
The biggest key factor that drove men to simply avoid women was the Me Too movement. All it took was one false allegation, and any man can lose everything from his profession and his ability to make a living and potentially start his own business. And once Johnny Depp won against Amber Heard, we knew already that the movement was trash from day one. You can't create catastrophic risks and still expect to take chances. I don't care at all about rejection. If I was in another country where people are more sane, so the rules, laws, and expectations are more honest and rational, I would have no problem approaching them. The problem is that the US is ridiculous. Men have been treated as punchbags by society for decades. Women want to be passive and put all of the risks on men to approach them and for many other things. And they can sit back and analyze and criticize men for their perceived poor decisions, or they disagree with their approach. If they can do it better, go ahead. Guys didn't mind approaching women when they had down-to-earth vibes. But now, hell no. Their arrogance is off the charts. Not only that, dudes have to worry about Me Too, and how to read minds. The whole thing ends up being a science project. Too much work. And investments with low returns. The few women left that dress classy will be approached instantly, which is why men should be getting married as soon as possible. These classy, traditional women that are left are grabbed before the age of 21. A harsh reality a lot of my friends have now realized into their 30s. They wanted to put it off as long as possible, but you aren't going to get a respectable woman who isn't obese in your 30s. Those that do are exceptions to the rule. Today, men have decided just not to indulge in any behavior that allows women to disrespect and invalidate them. Women's behavior towards men has just gone down the drain, and men have realized this. They have chosen their reputation, integrity, and respect over the disrespect and humiliation extended by women towards them. Seriously, I'd be much better off not approaching women because I swear, I've heard stories of women calling the cops over guys approaching them. Obviously, there was nothing wrong with the guys. It was just that they did not fit their profile in the looks and money departments. So, why would I or anyone put myself through something like this? It doesn't make sense. Also, I think a very high percentage of women are just not even worth approaching anymore. I think that's what they want, to be publicly valued by men, so they can show off in their circles, humiliate the guy, and feel validated, which isn't happening for her, because there aren't any more guys approaching them. Men are now starting to wake up and understand all of this. They don't have time to waste worrying about women who make interacting with them pointless. Women don't appear to be aware of how essentially rigged the game is against guys. They desire what they desire. Men will also no longer engage in accepting the unsupportive behaviors of women. They're done being used for nothing. Women are strong and independent, and they say that they don't need a man. As a guy, I say that's fine. Women say that no means no. Okay, that's fine. Women don't want men approaching them. Okay, that's fine too. So the solution for men in the three situations I mentioned is to walk away without saying anything. And as you walk away, never look back. Walking away without saying anything sends a far more powerful message than words ever will. Men don't approach today because they don't want to be perceived as creepy, be made fun of in the group chat for months, deal with the pain of rejection, or deal with their peace being disrupted by nonsense. It has nothing to do with being intimidated, and it's wild to me women can't at least try to see things from a modern guy's perspective to understand this. We are giving you what you asked for. We are also aware of the true nature of women. It is simply not worth the risk. False allegations are rampant, and we won't risk losing our peace, freedom, and finances over a woman. Women file for divorce at a much higher rate than men, and they almost always monkey branch during the relationship. It's a business deal that's not worth getting into. Remember that you are getting what you want. And it's very clear why women are worried today. It goes deeper than you guys think. It's an innate circumstance that females cannot handle. It's called rejection. Rejection is awful. Being rejected because of our physiology and evolutionary history hurts. When we are rejected, it hurts us because it feels like rejection. On the other end, guys are afraid women will make a scene if they're approached, so they just completely avoid it. Again, I believe this is the case since so many videos online these days include people discussing how much they detest being approached, or how much they dislike guys. I'm just struggling to understand women's dislike of men approaching them, making small talk, or even just being human. I believe that many individuals have lost sight of the fact that we are designed to interact with one another, and women really need to stop making such a big deal out of it. It's okay if a guy glances at you as you walk into a nightclub wearing your skimpy outfit. It's okay if a guy approached you in the mall just because he thought you were cute and he was single. It's okay if a guy tried to get your number because he was interested in you. And really, it's okay if a guy glances at you as you work out. He isn't being creepy. He's just waiting for when you'd be done with the machine because you've been hogging it for 45 minutes as you try and film yourself working out. If a majority of guys stopped approaching women, which most already have, there won't be any guys left to actually want to be with women. And that's just going to not end well for women in general. So, the shocking truth is that it's basically women's unwarranted behavior that has led to guys not approaching women. And I think that really needs to change. Thanks for watching The Circle of Kings. As always, we're looking forward to your support. So please hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel to stay updated with everything all kings like yourself need to know.